Hi guys, my name is Mia. We're group AB2, and our umbrella topic is food systems, which includes the production, aggregation, processing, distribution, consumption, and disposal of food products. And underneath this umbrella topic of food systems, I decided to cover crop farming, which mostly involves the first stage of food systems, which is production. Um, and for the example, I chose Nigeria as it's one of the leading producers in maize, corn, rice, and cassava. Agriculture accounts for about 23% of Nigeria's GDP and 35.21% of their employment, which means that it's heavily reliant on the service that agriculture provides. And one of the primary farming methods in Nigeria is the use of slash burn agriculture, which contributes greatly to CO2 emissions and deforestation. And they are developing countries, so increased warming greatly impacts their economy as it depletes their agriculture productivity growth, as shown in the picture I used. Um, and for an example crop, rice is extremely sensitive to warming as heat stress impairs the flower's ability to pollinate, and their yield is actually projected to decrease by 5% with only 1.5 degrees of warming, which is very large. And this is important for Nigeria because it's Africa's biggest producer of rice, so heat waves and lower rainfall caused by global warming will not only be detrimental to their country, but Africa as a whole.
My name is Maribel. I discuss the issue of overfishing in Australia, which falls under the umbrella topic of marine food systems. Overfishing harms the balance of life in the sea and can affect the whole system of how we get our food. On top of that, overfishing has a big impact on climate change. Some major dangers include overfishing. Too much fishing. Overfishing is a significant problem in Australia, with about 17.5% of fish stocks being overfished or heavily fished. This high rate of fishing is lowering fish populations. The There has been a 30% decline in large fish in Australian waters. This decline does not only impact the balance of marine ecosystems, but also the livelihoods of those who depend on fishing for their income. According to the Marine Stewardship Council, over 35,000 fishers and plant workers from more than 400 coastal communities had lost their jobs. Overfishing also contributes to coral bleaching, the process where corals lose their vibrant colors due to environmental stress. This not only damages the reefs, but also impacts the health and biodiversity of the reef ecosystem.
I'm Sophia, and in my essay, I discussed animal agriculture, which involves raising livestock and the production of meat and poultry products. The growing and consumption of meat has many negative side effects on the environment, and switching to plant-based foods have dramatic environmental, economic, and health benefits. So, land system change due to growing livestock contributes an estimated 12 to 20% of global greenhouse gas emissions, and many of those practices can pollute bodies of water also. The U.S. In the US, animal agriculture is the single biggest contributor of methane emissions, and it is proven that plant-based diets can actually boost immune system and lower risk of cancer in addition to other health advantages. Producing more plant-based foods can massively increase opportunities of employment, and the US is one of the top consumers of meat in the world, which is why, as a country, we need to find ways to change our habits. Social impacts include providing employment and human health-related issues.
And economic includes supporting local communities, and agriculture and forestry and fishing contribute 4% of the world's GDP and over 20% in many individual countries. It also impacts many people's livelihoods, and there's also a loss of tourism with a loss of agriculture and a loss of income.
For environmental, there is habitat loss, reduced food availability, and reduced habitat on land and in water.
For direct causes, there is the Industrial Revolution, the Great Acceleration. Overall, overconsumption causes an excess of food that goes to waste and an overuse of resources.
For indirect causes, some could be economically. It has historically been cheaper to use fossil fuels rather than renewable energy, biodiversity loss, and overfishing.
And for our first solution, we thought we should solve the problem at the root of the issue by creating incentives for farmers through legislation. And our examples are the Inflation Reduction Act and the Plant Act.
Some other solutions include supporting regulations, sustainable eating, spreading awareness, and just individual contribution of sharing knowledge and making small changes.
Thank you.